Okay, I am at the Brownsville, Texas, Brownsville Public Library, the southmost branch, or the BPL Junior, as I call it. The main library is on Central Street, Central Avenue, whatever. This is on the southmost street. It's slightly smaller, but I like it better. Um, it's a pretty good place. Not so good with the computers. I mean, you can't use the USB ports on the computers, to move files between thumb drives and SD cards and the super compact micro SD cards, the stuff that I got. You can't upload files from a USB, thumbstick to the PC to send them as videos they're kind of like crippled computers. But the great thing here is they got free Wi-Fi. Now, I'm not talking about free Wi-Fi in the normal sense of the word. I'm talking about free Wi-Fi with high-speed upload. Okay? That's like a whole nother level. That's what free Wi-Fi should be. High-speed upload. I don't know if they know that they're providing that. If they don't know, then I hope they don't find out. But anyway, yeah, you can upload videos to YouTube at a fairly at high speed, and it's awesome. So that's worth. You can watch movies here. There's a little observatory out over in that direction. I don't know if you can see it between the trees. And there's something on January 4th. They're going to have a viewing there at the little observatory. And so, yeah, you can come here and you can watch whatever movie they're playing for the day, charge your device, your smartphone, whatever. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a dramatic change in my life. I rode down here from Cheyenne, Wyoming on that motorized bicycle. I was pulling an AOSOM Elite 2 trailer behind it. That trailer gave up at about 1,200 miles. It could not hack it. It has no suspension. It couldn't take the beating. It couldn't take it just can't take it. It shouldn't even be on the market, in my opinion. If you're not going to go hardcore, then don't go at all. Either come hardcore or go home. That's my view. But anyway, the part that I need to fix the bicycle, to get the engine working again, I need a chain tensioner part upgrade, actually, an upgraded part. That is arriving today. So I'm going to be able to install that today, hopefully, and get this back running again. So I don't know if I'm ever going to bother with trying to hook a trailer to this again. I might just go with, I have this rack in the back. I could put some saddlebags maybe. Well, so anyway, yeah, it took me 49 days to get here on this motorized bicycle, two-stroke engine, pulling that AOSOM Elite 2 piece of crap trailer that finally, the axles broke, the wheels gave out, the wheel bearings stripped out, and I had to just ditch it on the side of the road and abandon it with, solar panels, battery, tent, all kinds of stuff. I had to abandon and just finish the rest of the, like 300 miles from Laredo to Brownsville on the bike alone. But anyway, this video is about G-Shock. Your last G-Shock. Your final G-Shock. G-Shock enthusiasts commonly debate about this. If I could only keep one, which one would it be? Well, that assumes you have free choice, completely free choice. So there's a few different scenarios that come into play here. So one scenario is there's a natural disaster or some sort of disaster. Maybe it's just your home catching fire. You have to run out the door with a go bag and one G-Shock. Which one will it be? Maybe you keep one in your in your go bag, so it's going to be that one, or maybe whatever's on your wrist plus that one. Um, so for me, I think my choice would have been the Rangeman #1 as the ultimate survival G-Shock, and #2 would have been the GW5000 because it's just really durable and it's simple. It doesn't get caught on anything. It's just the practicality value is way, it's like 99%. So that would have been my #2. That probably would have been my go bag G-Shock. Another scenario is the poop hits the fan. So it depends in which way the poop hits the fan, whether the government comes and tries to take you off to some camp somewhere, or whether the financial system collapses, the ATMs all shut down, your cards don't work, cash stops working in a few days, and you just, you shelter in place most likely. You're just going to shelter in place. You're not going to go anywhere. Maybe you have a bunker, you have a well-stocked basement or whatever. You're going to stay at your home and you're going to shelter in place, in which case you could keep as many G-Shocks as you want. So now the last scenario is the personal financial collapse scenario. Now that changes things because some of your wristwatches have value on the used watch market. So you're going to sell them maybe. And if you sell the watches that you would ideally, your favorites, the ones that you would keep. Let me see if I can put the camera on me for a little bit here. The weather's not too nice here. So let's say you sell the watches that your favorite, the one that you think would, like for me, the Rangeman, I think that's the best survival G-Shock. That would be one that I would choose to keep in a natural disaster where I had to flee my home. But since the scenario, this personal financial crisis scenario is the one that I've actually experienced, I sold my Rangeman on eBay, and I also sold my GW5000. So does that mean that I didn't keep any G-Shocks and I sold them all, and and I'm wearing some sort of Kmart $3 made in China bubblegum machine watch? No. I did decide that at the end of it all, I was going to be wearing a G-Shock, and it was going to be Solar Atomic, regardless, no matter what. So if you're trying to guess what my final G-Shock is, the last G-Shock that I own, think about what Solar Atomic G-Shocks are there that have very little resale value on the used G-Shock market. I will say that my first G-Shock, the first G-Shock that I purchased, was a GW700A. Now that might get you, moving in the right direction. It's not my final G-Shock. It could have been. It almost was. It kind of, it was neck and neck with another competitor. But that'll get you moving in the right direction. That's like a circa 2005, 2006 single band, only works in North America. If for those of you who are trying to guess what my final G-Shock is, your time's up. And now I'm going to reveal, without further ado, my final G-Shock, the last one, the only one that I currently own. There was one other one I brought with me, but I, kind of misplaced it along the way. It was an old G-Lide. It was a GWX100, asymmetrical. It had both Extreme and G-Lide labels on it, which is why I bought it, because it was kind of a historical. I had never reviewed it. I brought it with me thinking I would do a review because it was like the only G-Shock in my collection that I hadn't done a review on. But I accidentally left it behind, so that one's gone. And I have just the one G-Shock on my wrist. So without further ado, there it is, the GW300. It's not the GW M300. This is like, this is the 2002. This was a big deal back then in 2002 when it was released because it was new technology. You could get these at Walmart for $69.99. I picked this up on eBay used for like $30, $35. I ended up replacing the bezel. I should have replaced the strap. The strap's probably, only got a couple years left to it. But I did replace the bezel, and I replaced the battery and the case back gasket. The previous owner put a normal silver oxide battery in it, which surprisingly worked. The silver oxide battery just, lasted like it normally would until it ran out of juice. And the charging circuitry wasn't damaged at all. So I replaced it with a Panasonic CTL 1616, and that's doing just fine. I don't really like the looks of this as much as the GW700A. I think the buttons are kind of, I don't know, not too attractive. But it is very practical. It has the largest digits of any G-Shocks that I know of, any G-Shocks that I've owned. And that's great when you're an old geezer and you can't see very well. It's got the full auto EL. I like EL better than the new LED, which is a little too bright and a little too splotchy in my opinion. I like the EL because it's very even. And so there you go. This is my final G-Shock, the last resort, the last one that I ended up with. So take care, everybody. See y'all later. Bye.